And welcome back.
Welcome back to the H.A.B podcast episode
So 9.
episode 9, baby. We back. Consistency is what matters.
Very
Yeah.
true.
So we are just a couple of guys
Living life.
being
Hater ass bitches.
bitches. Just some hater ass bitches.
Shoes.
Shoes. Have you seen the new Taylor Swift album?
Shoes. Oh my god.
Shoes. So,
Talk about YouTube. That's like an OG, like literally like the OG YouTube video.
yeah. That and fucking old grit. Oh shit.
All great.
So right now we are watching the
Iowa,
South Carolina women's Final Four game,
Mm-hmm.
and because it does tie into what our podcast is going to be about today. So today is March 31st. We are recording. I won't see this until April 2nd, but
Yeah.
today is the last day of Women's Month, I think is what they call it. And so we are going, so we are going to do
They just got so hyped for that foul.
they did, well, that's because, like, she's going to be, like, the number 1 overall pick.
No, for sure. She is a monster.
But this
And
chick
so
right
is
here,
Caitlin
dude.
Clark.
Yes. So we're definitely going to do a women-themed podcast here today. And, well, it is
Both of us, lover of the women,
Yeah, we love women.
love the female population.
Yes. The biological female population.
I mean, just women in general, but
But most of the biological.
for like, we're straight.
Right. Like, would you rather have sex with the hottest transgender woman or the oldest woman in the world?
I feel like that is not a question for this podcast. That is a question for personal at the gym.
Have you seen the video, though?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I'm pretty sure I'm going to send it to you.
I doubt it. I sent it to you, probably.
No, probably not. You don't watch any of the shit I sent you.
Yes, I do. I watch your shit all the time, bro. Yes, I do.
But,
If I don't react to it, then you guys don't see it.
yeah, I react to it so you know that I watch it. Because I'm a good friend. I want to make sure that you know that I care and that I like respect the time and the energy you're taking to say, ha, I'm going to send this to Mike. This is a funny video.
Whatever, dude.
I'm done with you.
Fucking done with your ass.
Happy attitude all the time.
All right.
But
Real quick,
yeah,
before we get started, I just gotta say that
I gotta say welcome Adam to living here for however long.
what a bump.
Dude just walks in here
I know.
and just starts playing Call of Duty and says, "You know what? I don't want to hang out with my cousin Mike because I don't want to be around." So they're drinking milk. What a weirdo! You're drinking milk right now?
It is 10 o'clock at night, sir.
It's not for you. That's some BS.
All your kid drinks out of glass.
Yeah, Adam. That's some psychopath shit. I'm gonna drink a nice glass of white milk. There is chocolate milk in there, dude. At least drink that. Fucking weirdo.
It's pretty good. I mean, milk is milk. The milk is fire, regardless.
No, it's not. Yeah, I know you're one of those weirdos too that like fucking white. That likes white milk.
I like all kinds of milk. I like white milk, chocolate milk, strawberry milk,
See, I'll drink.
banana milk.
Okay, you went too far on that one.
No, the banana milk's fire.
But like, I'll drink normal white milk if it's like almond, because it's got like that like nice like.
Oh yeah, almond
that,
milk.
that nice taste of vanilla.
Yeah, show me on an almond where you can milk it.
That's not how that works.
Just have a nipple.
That's also not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So, good job, Donald Trump. Try again.
Really, Donald Trump?
I don't know. That's a great episode of South Park this week, by the way. In reference to Donald Trump. It's Mr. Garrison, Donald Trump, the same human being.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
It just pulls up, dude.
Caitlin Clark is a G.
I promise you, we're not distracted. We are. This is going to be going with our podcast. Like I said, it's going to be a very women-themed podcast.
Because
women's basketball.
Because we both love basketball.
Basketball. Yep.
In general.
Yep.
Love basketball. In general. And we have made our opinion known about women's basketball. We talked about it on the podcast before that, like, just the game of basketball, like, women really do play a pure form of basketball.
Yeah, they do.
Like, well, attaboy. Dude, that Trader Joe's chocolate milk is fire. No, they play a more fundamentally sound game.
Yep. So, like, dude, she's a monster. Caitlin Clark is a monster. But this is where we want to. This is what we want to go into. Is like, it's going to be very controversial what I'm going to say here, because, like, as compared to the women's game, compared to the men's game, naturally men are more athletic than women, with like explosion and stuff like that. So the men can, like, the women's players can't rely on like
pure athleticism.
Like, there's women that are fast, there's women that can like dunk. That's why, like, you see, like, when you see like dunks in the WNBA and dunks in college basketball, in the women's college basketball game, like, everybody gets hyped for it. Whereas, like, in the men's game, it's like, oh, it's just another dunk. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they don't have that.
But also, to make it clear, we're not saying women aren't athletic.
Right. That's not what I'm saying.
It's just, it's two
completely different styles. So that's why the women's game is so good, because
it's a different form of athleticism.
They have to rely on the fundamentals, which is not a bad thing. I'm not saying that at all. Like, that's why we actually enjoy watching the women's college basketball.
I love watching it
because it is the purest form of basketball. And it's kind of funny because one of the things we want to talk about is like how, like, the women's game is not as hyped up, and I mean, women's sports in general. But, like, we're talking about basketball because this is the time of the year. It's March Madness and Final Four, and clearly the women's game is not as hype as like the men's games and stuff like that.
It's not as hyped up.
Yeah, and
because when you're watching like a good women's, like, the game that always comes to mind is the championship run that Notre Dame had a few years back.
2018, yeah, we hit 2 game-winning shots. Same one.
The final.
Say her name, Ngakwe. Was it like Ngakwe or something like that? How you say her name?
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember.
Ogungale? Something like that.
Ogungale, something like that.
Jeez.
Caitlin Clark is going off.
I don't think that was Caitlin Clark.
It looked like it was.
No, that was
somebody else.
No, yeah, no.
I think I saw was 20-something.
Yeah.
All
white girls look the same.
Yeah. but like the Final Four game and then the championship game were like two of the best like basketball in general, men's or women's, games I've ever watched. They were both so close, came down to literally the last shot. Literally one-game winner.
Both of them. Yeah, both of them.
And
she still got 2 fouls at Boston.
So, like, and I've always liked women's basketball. I mean, like, Notre Dame's women's basketball has been one of the powerhouses the past 20 years.
Yeah.
So, like, in this area, just women's basketball, I feel like it's supposed to be living in Indiana. Basketball in general is just more appreciated.
Right.
But, like, Notre Dame women's basketball in our area is so appreciated, and so it is kind of hyped up. Like, there's billboards and shit all over the place.
Right, but I also disagree with your statement.
But what? What did I say that wasn't true?
So this is just my opinion. So, like, I just feel like it's not hyped up as much as it should be because, like, we went to a game recently. Okay, here's the thing, right? Notre Dame is not a basketball school. No. We all know that. Football's king at Notre Dame. But, number one, their stadium is small as fuck. Number two, if you put, like, and don't tell me I'm wrong here. If you were to say, like, let's just say Notre Dame men's was like 15 and 11.
They would be getting more press.
But they were going up against like number four.
They'd be sold out.
a number 4 team in the country, right? It'd be sold out. But yet the women's team has been consistently top 10
for 20 years.
I've been a fan of Notre Dame girls basketball. It's the only team I really like Notre Dame wise. But like ever since I met Jenny, her mom, my mother-in-law was a season ticket holder, and I started going to games, and that was right around the time that they had Skylar Diggins.
Yeah,
Skylar Diggins.
It's been about 20 years.
So, but they've always been good. Like they've always been like they won a championship. They've won
since Ivy was playing.
Right,
we've been consistently a top 25 program.
And it's honestly went to that game just a couple weeks ago. All right, it was against a shitty team in Georgia Tech. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is, it literally looked like a freaking high school game.
That's the thing, though. I'm not saying it's overly hyped. I'm saying that we have a greater appreciation than what most like fan bases do. Like, I mean, shit. Even look at this right now. Like, it's like this is a Final Four game, and it's not sold out. There's empty seats all over the place.
Yeah, but you might get that in the men's game too. I don't know. Where's it at?
Yeah,
let's still with this Final Four at Dallas.
Mm-hmm. So, but still, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that like Notre Dame women's like we're selling out every game.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But like that's a problem too. Is like what we were just discussing. Is like when it comes to like the women's basketball game too. Is like
why is it not hyped up?
You just said that.
Before we started, I said
you've never heard her before this year.
Yeah,
literally before last week. That's what you said.
Yeah, like I mean,
I've heard about her all year because I'm like on Twitter and stuff, so I kind of see everything.
But still, like, what I'm saying is, last week, she had the 41-point triple double, the first 40-point triple double woman in essentially basketball history, and tournament history, yeah, and.
It might have been D1 history.
Yeah, it was D1 history. Yeah, that's definitely D1.
Yeah.
But like, I never heard shit about her. Like, I mean, I heard about I obviously as an IU fan, I do follow like IU and mostly Notre Dame's women's basketball, but IU women's basketball as well. So I knew that Iowa's women's team was really good this year. Yeah. But I never really heard any specific names or specific details. But when you look at her career stats, she has been balling out her entire college career.
Yeah.
And you haven't heard shit.
You're right.
And I think it brings up a lot of the arguments we're going to bring up today. That, like, let's be honest, at least for women's college basketball, it is kind of bullshit that, like, it doesn't get more hype than what it gets.
Yeah. At least the college level.
Just for sure. Because I don't know if you want to get into it yet, but, like, something we talked about a little bit ago, before we started the podcast, was I really don't get why the WNBA feels so different than women's college basketball.
See, I've never watched WNBA games, so I don't know.
Like, I've tried. That's what we were talking about the other day. Like, I've put it on.
Yeah.
But, like, it just feels so different.
I mean, college athletics feels
different in general.
Different in general because you're more like you're gonna gravitate towards the stars, like you do with the pros.
Mm-hmm.
But college is more like, it's more about like the school and like the traditions of the school and stuff. So you're gonna gravitate. And plus, like in college, the players aren't gonna be there forever. Whereas like when you watch a player in the pros, they could be there 15, 20 years. So I mean that's why too. But like.
But still.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, like, nobody's going to these WNBA games either.
Right.
So the fans are getting involved.
Yeah, but still, I've never watched a women's college basketball game, and sometimes the arena's damn near empty, too.
Yeah. I remember I went to a Michigan Notre Dame girls basketball game at Michigan, and the only time I've ever been in Chrysler Center, and man, it was dead. It was dead in there. Like so much so that me and Jenny got picked to go on court to do a competition with the two other people, and we won, of course. And Um, I don't know, man. Like,
And that's the thing that sucks too, right? Is that like we talked about, right?
yeah,
Like, dude, Candace Parker is one of the best basketball players I've ever seen, and like the WNBA and women's basketball in general doesn't get the hype that it deserves or should.
I don't really think they do a good job of promoting their stars either.
For sure, without a doubt.
Like they almost like the WNBA. We've kind of talked about like how like these are just facts. You know, the WNBA, or the NBA basically kind of pays for the WNBA.
They are subsidized by the
Like the WNBA loses money every year, but because the NBA
makes
is
so
basically
much.
keeping them afloat.
Yeah,
Um, you know, it even gets to a point where like if an NBA player goes to a WNBA game, like they're, you know, like say
they
like
market off of that.
Chris Paul and Devin Booker show up to the Phoenix Mercury's games. They're like, oh, look who showed up to the Phoenix Mercury games. It was Devin Booker and Chris Paul.
Right, they like
So you're still
market it
using the NBA. Like you're marketing the NBA player being in a WNBA game. If you're not
instead of the WNBA game itself.
like sure. Like last year, it was all the hype with who was it, Tarazi and Bird retiring at the same time. Even though Tarazi, I guess, is coming back again.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, that's what I saw. She sounded like a 3-year deal. Like,
I think it sucks too. Is like they're ballers too, man.
100%, dude. Some of these girls, you know, some of these women are ballers,
For sure.
and like, you know,
Like Libby Miles. Libby Miles is a baller.
right? Skylar Diggins.
Baller.
Um, the thing is, too,
Maya Moore.
Maya Moore, baller,
Baller.
dude, baller. What's that? How you say her name? The girl that played for Oregon.
Chick who just went last year. She's like the
2 years ago, 3 years
like the
ago.
assist leader up there.
No, she was a couple years ago. She's the one that like Kobe loved or whatever.
Yeah, the little white girl.
Sabrina. Yeah, Sabrina I something. Baller.
Yeah, she was like the assist leader.
Yeah.
Instead of
Well,
like
she's
the assist leader. Yeah. She's
yeah,
a baller, dude.
baller. But and then like
So once again, I just want to clarify. Don't get stuck on any of the bullshit that we're talking about right now, because obviously me and him respect women and respect the women's game.
right.
It's just we are confused on like what needs to be different, what needs to be handled differently.
And see like so I it's funny that you say that too because like I put out a thing on Facebook this week
Mm-hmm.
to try to get some women's perspectives on the women's game.
Right.
And I was like, hey, would anybody who follows women's basketball like to answer some questions for me?
Right.
And the questions I had were basically just like, you know, why do you think that the women's game doesn't get as much hype as like the men's game? What would you do to hype up the women's game? Like it was stuff like that. And then
Yeah. Just to get the women's
I was also
perspective,
going to ask
because,
like,
obviously,
do they watch?
right.
Right? Because, but you know, like I told you this week, you know,
But what brought up that conversation? Like, you know, we don't want to go into like too much detail about some stuff we talked about, but like Bill Burr, I was talking about how like Bill Burr and that one stand up at Red Rock, there in Colorado, made a joke about the WNBA, saying how like
all right,
you know women, to be honest about it, primarily white women, um, yelling about how men don't support the WNBA enough. When in reality,
women don't.
even if we aren't watching, we still are, because we are watching the NBA, buying NBA jerseys, buying tickets to the NBA games, which are ultimately going towards helping support the WNBA. So arguments are valid. But are any of these women watching?
Yeah.
Because if you did, and more did, then the WNBA would be doing better.
Yeah. That was a foul, by the way.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so we asked for opinions. We didn't get a response.
We didn't get a response.
We had quite a few likes on there.
Yeah. And like that's the problem is like everybody has an opinion until you actually ask for an opinion, and then it's
Yeah,
nobody wants to give their opinion.
right.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody always wants to give an unsolicited opinion,
Yeah, but when you give it,
but when you ask for it, then nobody wants to give it. Um, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, what would honestly like what? It's just kind of hard to talk about because we are not obviously we're not women,
right?
but like, what would you do? Like, how would you like at least basketball, man? Like, I know people watch softball. There's not really a pro softball league. People watching
Yeah,
the
it's mid-thing
Olympics.
Olympics and
So, like, really, the only team, like, the only women's sport that has a pro league that can
league,
be compared is to men,
like
basically,
a true pro league
is
is the WNBA.
basketball. And so,
And that's the thing too, is like for me, I truly believe that like there should be, which I think there technically is a pro softball league,
I mean, probably,
but I think it's like the same, like probably makes the same amount of money as like a freaking pro, like the ultimate frisbee league. Dude,
jeez,
Caitlin Clark is a
bro,
fucking
she just pulled
monster.
up on these clowns, man.
But
She's a stud, dude.
that's the thing though, is like like for me, just because like I mean, even though we love basketball, like we also love baseball,
Right.
and I think it would be cool to see like
Pro softball.
like a legit pro softball league because like the Olympic softball games,
Yeah, fun.
they're pretty good and pretty good to watch.
Dude, these refs are letting them play too, by the way. They're letting them play. In the men's league, that'd be a foul. Like, that'd be 15 fouls in there.
Right.
I'll sure just pull up. They said, I saw a stat on her today that's like,
Caitlin Clark, come on, Caitlin Clark.
yeah, Caitlin Clark. I saw a stat that said, like, most of her threes have come from, like, NBA range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh, yeah, I've
Because,
seen
you
her.
know, the women's 3-point line is a little bit shorter.
Yeah, in college.
Yeah.
Um, but no, yeah, she every three I've seen her shoot in this game has not been close to the line.
Yeah, she's pulling through.
But that's the thing, though. Is that like to go back to your question? You asked like, what do we think? Like, believe in your stars. That's where I'm at. Is like in reality, right? Like, sure, you're starting to see it a little bit more. Like you are seeing like Sue Bird and all these people doing like Nike shit now.
Yeah.
But why is it just now happening? When the arguments about Sue Bird making 20 or 200,000 a year when LeBron makes like 40. Like those arguments have been happening forever, but the WNBA hasn't been hyping up their own stars, their own things.
And the thing with the WNBA too is like you never see like you never hear about like you never hear when the season's gonna start either.
It just starts, yeah.
Yeah, it just starts.
Out of nowhere, it's like
Like,
halfway into the season. You're like,
yeah.
and the
And
other
that's
thing
what
it sucks.
it's only, that was another thing that I had an argument about too, is like they play half the games that the NBA plays.
Yeah,
They play
they
40 games.
they should have a longer season.
So I don't know, man. I don't know what they need to do. Like
So I feel like they start.
I think they need to market better, man. Like honestly, you definitely
I think
market your stars. You
I
need
think
to
it is a.
build your brand. I mean, build your brand.
I think that is a huge issue because once again, like we were talking about, like there are some fucking ballers
Yeah.
in the
But then
WNBA in
again,
college basketball.
I think the thing that I just thought about too is like a little bit like like I was saying earlier is that you're not gonna see that many dunks. You're not gonna see um
You're not seeing as explosive.
you're not seeing explosive athleticism from the women's side. So what I think is like people's attention spans are so small. Not really I wouldn't say attention spans, but like people don't want to sit down and watch girls basketball because you're not going to see the oohs and the ahs. You're going to see fundamentally like why do you like? Let's just take it back to like
pure basketball.
let's just take it like to the Spurs, like the Spurs, the way they played basketball for so long, and like even kind of like the Warriors now, but like with the Warriors, like at least they have the oohs and ahs because Steph Curry can pull up from half court and swish it like it's nothing. But like let's just talk about like the Spurs.
Yeah,
like why did like the Spurs were winners?
The Spurs were like their run with Tony Parker.
Yeah, and Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili. It's like they played basketball, pure fundamental basketball. I mean, they literally called Tim Duncan the big fundamental.
Yeah.
So it's like, and people are like, well, I don't want to watch the Spurs. They're boring.
Yeah.
And I heard that all the time. They're boring.
Yeah.
And it's like, so that's why I think people are like, well, women's basketball is boring. But it's like, right. But if you're a fan of basketball, then you should have no problems watching the women's game.
Right. Like for us,
We're sitting here watching right now.
we do. I mean, you can see the reflections.
Yeah.
There you go. You can see the reflections in the freaking thing there.
The thing is, too, that I don't understand with the women's game is that I don't understand how you like how they determine like how when you get drafted because like I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like
Yeah, I'm a little too soon.
there's a player that played for Michigan last year, last couple years, a 4-year starter, and she was a scorer, man. Her name was like Nas Hillman, and she scored like she scored like 15 a game once and stuff like that, and all this other stuff, and then she went like second round, and I'm like, how do you determine in the WNBA like? Well, if you're a baller on the men's side, they're like, I bet you're going first.
They get a lot of overseas players too, though. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's the thing, though, is that like I could be completely wrong, but like I feel like I remember like there are some years where like a lot of like big name college players won't go to the WNBA. They'll go play overseas and then come back.
Do they make more money?
Yeah. Which like and I brought up too before we started. It's like in reality, like to pay somebody to play the game of basketball doesn't make a difference if you're man or woman. But like
strictly basketball,
just strictly basketball, to pay somebody to go play in the street. Yeah, you both deserve the same pay. You're playing. It's the same job, right? You're playing basketball. But it's like saying, somebody who works at, say, a woman works at Penguin Point, and a man works at McDonald's. Like, of course, McDonald's can afford to pay somebody more than somebody getting paid at Penguin Point
because they're the bigger brand.
They're the bigger brand, and also Penguin Point is still open literally because McDonald's is paying for Penguin Point to stay open.
See, I didn't know that.
I mean, it's not actually what's happening at McDonald's and Penguin Point. I'm just saying that the NBA is literally paying for the WNBA they're subsidized by the NBA.
Yeah,
I don't know, but like we talked about, I feel like we made it pretty obvious in this podcast that like we would love for the WNBA to become popular.
Right. I mean, I even tagged you in those WNBA jerseys I saw on Twitter.
Those Fever jerseys are dope.
I definitely want to get a Fever jersey just because we live in Indiana. And
I don't know, man. We're obviously not like.
That's why I would have loved to have like some female perspective, because like the way like we're like I could see people be like, well, "You're just real sexist because you're saying that blah blah this blah blah that." It's like no.
Well,
that's for
sure. We would have loved to have more insight from other people, but we didn't get any when we literally sought it out. So if you think we're being sexist, when in reality, I don't think we are, because we're trying to support the game. We want to see it build. And okay, the stadium's a little more sold out than I thought it was. But
it's a Final Four game, so I figured it would be.
Yeah, but still, when obviously in reality we fucking love college basketball, and like I really do enjoy the women's game of college basketball. But I don't know, man.
I mean, fuck it. We should go to a WNBA game and see what it's all about. Go to a live game.
Oh, yeah, go to like a Sky game or something. Sky or Fever.
Sky or Fever, yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I think it's pretty obvious that both of us would love to see the game explode and be popular, because I think we've acknowledged plenty that we love the game and that like there are some fucking ballers in the WNBA.
Yeah. What do you think? Like, do you think
she is fucking huge? That's kind of
yeah.
I think Boston or something.
Boston, like Elia Boston or something like that. Do you think like the women's game doesn't like, especially in college? Do you think that the women's game it doesn't get as much respect either because like there's not a lot of parity?
Without a doubt, though,
Like you rarely see upsets in the women's game. Jeez.
No, for sure. I think that
Like UConn ran the league for ran the show for so long. Now you got South Carolina who's kind of back to back undefeated seasons.
yeah, no, I think that
Whatever.
without a doubt, even women's college basketball doesn't get the credit or the respect that it deserves. But I still think that at least it gets some respect. But like, I don't know. I think in general, like,
They are really letting them play this game.
they are. Though I'm loving it.
They really
This has been a really.
play.
This has been a really
It
fun.
only
game.
worries you that if it's going to be a close game in the fourth quarter, they're going to start calling a bunch of fouls.
Right? What game was it?
Like literally in the men's game, these are all fouls that we're watching right now. So if you're watching this game, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So like, I know you're like people are going to watch and be like, "Oh, they're just distracted." It's not the case. This is actually what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Though, like, there's not like people want to see more teams win championships. Like in the men's game, it's so much more exciting too sometimes because
you do see more upsets.
Different, yeah, and you see.
I mean, look at this year.
A ton of upsets.
Look at this year. You got a Final Four, no number ones,
or number twos, or number threes.
Yeah, so UConn's one of 4, right?
Yeah. So
say they're the only team that's won a championship, and they've only won 1.
Yeah, I mean nobody. If you would, you'd be freaking crazy.
Say, when's the last time you've seen no blue bloods make it to a Sweet 16?
Well, you could say UConn's a blue blood.
Not in men's basketball.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No. Shut up. You try making the argument that fucking Michigan was an elite basketball program.
Motherfucker, we had this discussion.
I know, and I wanted to agree with you. You're right.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Bitch.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I really would love for you know what? Fuck it. Let's go to a WNBA game. Let's go to a fucking Sky game. You're gonna be a Bulls fan anyways when LeBron retires, so might as well like the Sky.
I know.
I won a championship like 2 years ago.
What did their jersey look like?
I almost grabbed my.
I'll
try to grab my phone. My phone's literally being recording.
I'll look on there. Maybe. Does Della Don still play for the Sky? Candace Parker plays for the Sky, doesn't she?
Last I knew.
They play the United
States. Retired yet?
No, hell no.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know if they play at the United Center or if they play at DePaul. Because DePaul's got a pretty big stadium,
right? But not compared to like an NBA stadium.
No, it
seats maybe 10. See what I mean?
This seats like 10,000.
Let me look at this. Let me look them up real quick. Dude, Chicago Sky. Hey man, all my teams in Chicago except for I'm a Colts fan. That's cool with me. I don't care.
Oh, by the way,
no, Della Don plays for the Washington Mystics now.
Yeah, she did like last year, 2 years ago.
Because like the Sky won a championship and then she shipped out.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing though. Is like I pay attention to a lot of sports, like I've said in the past. So I kind of know all the goings on about like. I just don't know when the fucking season starts, man.
But you see who's coming back tomorrow?
In Wintrust Arena.
Yeah, Wintrust is where DePaul plays.
That's crazy.
It is a big stadium, and it's right by Soldier Field.
Who's coming back tomorrow?
Jonathan Tays.
Oh yeah,
Jonathan Tays is in Atlanta tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm about to watch that game.
It's his first game in like a year and a half, I think.
Yeah. All right, I'm looking at the Sky right now because I want to. You want to go to the game this year? Let's look at the schedule.
So I can do it.
I want to get a jersey though.
Dude, it'd be dope to have a Candace Parker jersey. Are you kidding me? That'd be sick.
Yeah, it'd be. So like that's the thing too, man. It's like,
she's the GOAT.
You definitely. It's gonna sound bad when you talk like this too, but like, some of these girls are super fucking attractive.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
that's the thing is like it's easy to be a fan of them. Like I remember, like
Candace Parker is gorgeous.
when did
Skylar
Parker?
Diggins. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, I love Skylar Diggins. I
So
like to
never
see
get to that.
Chandler. I like Natalie Chandler. Um, we're getting with the big storm right now. What was it?
Hail down there.
I remember. I remember when I'd be at my grandma's. So Candace Parker's been like for a long time.
Yeah, she was.
So I feel like she played. Maybe when I was like a freshman in high school, I'd go to my grandma's house that night, and
Where'd you go to college? You remember?
Tennessee.
That's right.
Because I remember watching her.
She played for Pat Summit.
Yep.
Like towards the end of Pat Summit.
Tennessee would always be on TV, and I remember watching their games.
Dude, Pat Summit is the fucking GOAT. Yeah, I haven't thought about Pat Summit in so long.
May 19th is when they start.
That's right. They do play like over the summer, like the
Yeah,
in the championships in like August, right?
bro.
August, October.
I'll be out of town. Gonna say New York Liberty versus Chicago Sky would be dope.
That would be dope.
I'll be out of town.
Does Maya Moore still play for Minnesota?
Dude, I don't know, man. No, I think she like retired.
There's no way she retired, bro. She's younger than half the
Right.
kids
She
Parker and shit.
she retired to do something else.
I think didn't she like have a kid or something like that? Did she retire for that?
Dude, Tuesday we could go see the Las Vegas Aces. Kelsey Plum, and she's pretty hot.
Yeah. Which once again, not about their attractiveness. But let's be honest.
Sunday, July 30th.
Some gorgeous
Phoenix Mercury. Isn't that Diana Taurasi?
Taurasi and Brittany Griner.
Oh, yeah. Man, that was...
Arizonan of the year.
Huh?
Arizonan of the year.
Arizona of the year.
Yeah, it's Brittany Griner. She won like...
Bro, tickets are $25 a piece.
That's the thing that sucks. It doesn't suck, but like...
You trying to be a Sky fan for real?
Hell yeah.
All right, let's do it.
If we're gonna do it, we might as well.
I'm trying to see if Candace Parker's still in the squad, though. If she is...
Is it like...
Oh, she's not.
Where's Candace Parker play now? LA?
I don't know, dude. She retired?
She might have.
Bro, she plays for the freaking Las Vegas Aces.
Is that Tornado Sirens?
I don't know. It doesn't sound like it. She was the first overall pick in 2008. So, yeah, dude. I remember watching her back in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So, I'm watching girls basketball. I mean, but we can still be a Sky team. Let's just look and let's just see the Chicago Sky
No,
roster.
bro, those are Tornado Sirens.
Uh-oh. We might be getting hit with a superstorm right now.
Yeah, those are Sirens.
Are you sure they're not like police sirens? We have a tornado siren going off right now, so this could be fun. We're going to go ahead and keep this in the podcast today. Great.
It's bad as fuck up.
Perfect. I'm definitely going to hang out here then until it stops.
Sorry.
I know it's fine. But, yeah, I lost my co-host for a minute. Are you going to come back out here so we can finish up this podcast? You just leave in the middle of a freaking...
Let's let Adam know.
I mean, hey, we still could buy a Chicago Sky freaking Candace
James
Parker
Parker jersey, you know what I mean? I bet When did Las Vegas get a team though?
Las Vegas had a team. They won the championship like last year, 2 years ago.
Right. I gotta remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like these are not that bad. Hold on, man.
You're trying to fucking show me. You're like, hold on.
Well, it's not loading.
Oh, like 800 miles away from me. Those are cold.
Yeah,
You're showing to this.
I know. But they don't have. Yeah, you have to find it. But yeah, I mean, Spencer though, like in your opinion though, like what would you do to help? Where did the game go?
I don't know. Just way. I think biggest thing to do is you gotta support your own stars. That's really what I think.
Yeah,
You gotta make people know who your stars are and build around that.
yeah.
Like I haven't brought up wrestling in a while, but
Can't have a podcast without bringing up wrestling.
hey, WrestleMania this weekend. But like
Oh, I was beating South Carolina.
like if you're WWE, right? Like you're not gonna promote that,
Bum.
that somebody from AEW
Yeah.
is sitting in the crowd. Like you're not gonna use that to try to bring people over and watch the games or get people excited about it. You know what I mean? Like same thing with AEW. You're gonna be excited that you got Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho and shit like that. You're not gonna so you're gonna be like, oh, look who was in the crowd. Roman Reigns. You're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Because that's burying yourself. That's acknowledging that you're a second rate company.
Yeah.
But talk about.
I mean, I agree. I really do agree.
I think that's the biggest thing. Because once again, you got some fucking ballers. Be excited about them. Hell yeah. So the Blackhawks game got bumped to the ESPN game tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be watching that.
He's a fucking Hall of Famer, dude.
I know, dude.
Breaks my heart.
Really,
man.
really excited to take my hockey fandom to a whole new level after the season.
Yeah. Just worried about what the hell we're gonna do. Because it was like Dan Dixon posted today too about Jonathan Taze.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I mean, I never want to see him play anywhere else. Just like I never wanted to see Patrick Kane play anywhere else. But at the same time, like they're not getting any younger. They're in their mid-30s. I kind of want to see him go play for a contender.
What about stick around and build the Blackhawks back into a contender?
Yeah, but they're not gonna like. I said once again, they're in their mid-30s and they're not Sidney Crosby or Ovechkin still playing at a high level. I mean, who knows? Like maybe Jonathan Taze comes out, starts balling out again.
Yeah.
I mean, Patrick Kane's still playing at a high level, but he needs a solid team around him. He's not as fast as he used to be. He's still a freaking baller, but I don't know, man. We'll see. See how it goes.
Yeah.
Still got a little bit left of the season.
Like I said, we are definitely going to take my hockey fandom to a whole new level here. Study the game, like buy the NHL game. Really want to get into hockey.
Yeah.
We'll go to a Chicago Sky game this year. See what it's about, man. Maybe we'll be only 2 people there.
I think it'll be more than that. But, yeah. This is the thing though, is that like there are certain teams that do like get at least like some fans, and like this guy is one of those teams.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Chicago shows out for their teams no matter what.
definitely a good sports town.
Yeah, too bad majority of their teams suck ass.
Right now they do.
Yeah, Bulls.
Well, they don't suck like that, dude. We're about to be a playoff team.
Ooh,
Bulls. We're in the play-in tournament right now.
Bears ain't gonna be able to play a fucking team with a running back playing quarterback.
Okay, Mr. Lamar Jackson.
I don't want Lamar Jackson.
You do love Lamar Jackson. Oh, that's right. I forgot you're racist.
Anthony Richardson.
Sorry.
That's the thing. Just for a little context. Just for context behind that little joke that he said, I'm in this Colts group on Facebook, and
Y'all are toxic as shit.
people are like, if you don't want Lamar Jackson, you're just racist or you don't know football. And it's like, what? Like, you guys realize that it's throwing the racist term around has completely destroyed its meaning.
Yeah,
Throwing it
I think people get called racist when they're like blatantly not, but then the people who are like low-key kind of racist. It's like, all right. Remember, if white women love you though, and you're racist, you're gonna have the highest selling, two highest selling country albums of all time. Just remember that.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about that then, right? We've come to the conclusion that the people behind the cancel culture is white women.
But primarily white women.
White women. They have no right to cancel anybody. But yet, like, the biggest example is Morgan Wallen. This dude was outside of his house screaming the N-word.
Right.
And people were upset. Canceled. I don't even think he got canceled.
They tried.
Like, he was close.
It was
people are like, oh my God, he's fucking racist. And then the next thing you know, his career goes...
It skyrocketed.
Blows the fuck up.
Yeah. It did skyrocket after everybody was like, dude, this guy's racist as shit.
Yeah. And then he puts out... I remember when that happened, and I was like, I remember it was like, because it was on Twitter, so it's like TMZ and all this other shit was like, oh my God, like Morgan Wallen got caught saying the N-word, he's drunk outside of his house, screaming, and I was like, damn. And I remember making the joke, like, his neighbors probably realized that he was famous, and was like, let's just set up some cameras. Because that's what it was. Like, the neighbor had, it was like the neighbor's cameras that caught it.
It was just a rain camera.
Yeah.
So
that's all I'm saying, though. They're like, hey, let's set up a camera. Let's get this motherfucker. Like, we know he'd be low.
Yeah, that's what I do, yeah. No, it's just a fucking rain camera, dude.
Shut the fuck up, dude. I'm just saying.
Now you're trying to build a narrative. It's not even there. Sound dumb.
It was
you played yourself.
Joke, dude.
You played yourself.
What is she wearing?
Oh, but she was wearing that during the game, too.
I know, honestly. What the fuck are we doing here? But, yeah, dude, white women.
If white women love you,
you're good to go.
You're good to go.
I believe they're the ones behind cancel culture. They are. Fucking white women, dude.
Marcus Aldridge announced his retirement. Didn't he retire like 3 years ago?
Yeah, he came back.
When did he come back?
He tried to come back.
What was that?
Like last year. Tried to come back and play for the Nets.
That's right.
That's everybody's like, the Nets are going to be fucking unstoppable.
And
then they are ass. They fucking traded everybody. Okay.
KD once again joins a team that went to the finals last year.
2 years ago.
You know what I mean, dude? Sure.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
I'm done with you, dude.
I'm so lost.
Watching that. If you watch the halftime show, we don't have the sound on.
Oh, they making fun of her. They make like they're showing respect by her outfits. That's what they're doing.
Dude, her teeth are...
Dude, she's a freaking baller coach, though.
She is.
Like, that's the thing, too, man. I feel like in the women's game, you get more like the coaches. Coaching. The coaches, though, but the coaches get hyped up more than the players do.
They do. Dude, Neil Ivey gets fucking hyped up pretty good.
Well,
I mean, you know, I mean, also
H.A.B is Christine, but
smoke show.
she is a smoke show. But also, like,
Sniper.
yeah, Will Snipes, Silly Boys.
Fucking Bengals boys.
But it's like you got that Gino Ariema, you got freaking that Kim, how do you say her last name? Dawn Staley's a good coach. Really good coach. Dude, that's the crazy thing, too, about her. Did you see Dawn Staley? She was, like, playing in the WNBA, but she also became a head coach in, like, college at the same time. Like, she was coaching.
She really?
Dude, it's crazy.
She coached at the same time she was still playing?
Like, yeah. Because, like, the WNBA season wasn't during the same time as, like, college basketball. So, like, she would go and play WNBA.
She then made more money.
Like, I think it was, like, towards the end of her, like, WNBA career.
Yeah, because
like,
she's only been coaching South Carolina, what, 4 or 5 years now? Maybe a little longer.
I don't know, man. The coach though, trying to turn around. But see, that's the thing though. Is like you're not going to see like if Iowa wins this game, it's going to be a huge shock. Whereas like in the men's game, like you said, like there's more like it's shocking when teams get upset, but it's like oh that's just March. But then like the women's games, it's like you kind of
you
know.
don't really see too many upsets. Like you see the occasional like Miami beats Indiana type. You see the occasional.
Or like Stanford going down, or like UConn losing. But like, and that's the thing too is like,
go and do that. It's the first team I could think of.
But
that IU was a number 1 and lost to a number 6 or whatever the hell it was.
Right. No, but what I was trying to say is like even a couple of years ago, like when Notre Dame went on that run,
yeah,
they were a number 1 seed, and yet they were like, but it still was like
UConn
UConn was supposed to beat their ass.
Yeah, well, it would have been that was the year was it was like us, UConn, Stanford, and South. It was like one of the first years South Carolina was up again.
Like you're more than likely, it's more often you're going to see a number 1, all 4 number 1 seeds making the Final Four over. Like, besides the men's game, in the women's game, you're going to see that more often than you do see in the men's game.
I mean, because sometimes you do see a couple of number 1s in the Final Four, but like you almost never see it all 4.
But I don't think I've ever seen all 4 in the men's game. But you've seen it in the women's game a lot.
A lot.
So
we should have used Notre Dame one. I think it was all 4 were number 1s.
Yeah. So we've been kind of all over the place tonight, but I mean,
yeah, we talked about a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. I will tell you that a friend of mine reached out today and said they watched our first episode and they said it was really good. It flowed well, but it was chaos.
That first episode was chaos.
Like we were all over the place.
We had no idea what we were doing then.
I kind of feel like this episode was a little bit of chaos because we kind of went on tangents and we kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
But I think like
talked about a lot of good stuff today though.
Yeah, I think it flowed really well. And we didn't exactly have a plan today. We kind of wanted to talk about the women's games and stuff like that. So, honestly, kind of why we'll pull this game on, dude.
For sure.
And we're going to go ahead and say
our goodbyes.
Say our goodbyes. We're going to go ahead and go to a Sky game this year. We got to get matching jerseys, though.
Hell yeah, dude. Candace Parker all day.
I don't know. I've only seen like 2X, though, so I'm kind of hoping that, like,
I can find more than that time.
Well, I'm going to look right now. But, yeah, is there anything else you want to say? We also found a spot where you walked away completely while there's tornado sounds going on. So that was cool.
Yeah, I just started, dude. So I was like, I'm going to.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's awesome. Real, raw. Caitlin Carr's kind of hot, too.
That is one thing, too, I will say. Because when you see, like in the men's game, when you see somebody go off, like, their shot charts all over the place. Dude, like, I feel like they're so much more methodical. Once again, in women's game.
Yeah.
Her shots are in the same place.
Yeah.
Like, she had a couple over on the right side, but everything else was, like, right side of the rim and left side of 3-point line.
I feel like the women's game, like, they know what they're good at, and so they
They attack.
They
That
keep
shit.
doing it. And
They scheme themselves
like,
open.
we're just gonna fucking run and do it.
Like they scheme themselves open. They're not just freaking Russell Westbrook throwing it up.
God, dude, look at that. Second half plus 517. That's ridiculous. I kind of hope Iowa pulls this out, dude. Iowa versus LSU will be a great national championship on Sunday.
Yeah, those teams match up so well.
Oh my God, look at that pull up. Oh man, if she would have nailed that.
The amount of confidence that Caitlin Clark
She's a nice jumper, dude. But see, like, look at in the men's game, dude. They're wide open like that. They're pulling up every time.
Yeah, she's.
Whereas, like, the women's game, like that's what I'm saying. They run plays consistently. It's like no matter what, they run the play. Like, dude, these girls are playing in the paint consistently.
See, and that's the thing too. Like during the IU game when we lost to Miami, they were talking about how like because Mike Woodson is a very strategic coach.
Yeah,
and he likes to run plays. They were like, "All right, Mike, you gotta quit running plays here. Just start playing some ball."
but that is part of ball.
No, like just going out and playing some fucking basketball.
Dude, look how far they're playing off.
Like she should have shot that.
Like, and that's the thing too. Is like, that's what I'm saying too. Like with the women's game, is like, see, those are fouls in the men's game. But like, that's the thing too. Is like in the men's game, if you're playing off a center, they're gonna pop that three. They're gonna shoot it no matter what. So like the women's game, like that's what I'm saying. They're like, they know like, okay, I'm not a good 3-point shooter, so I'm not gonna shoot this motherfucker.
One thing you see too though is that like when there's a missed shot,
like, dude, men are taking that shot every time, right there,
like,
every time.
So like in the men's game too, like if there's a missed shot, right, the ball jumps up. You never see the ball just go flying around, like trying to get a rebound. Like somebody grabs that shit. In this game, you do see that a lot. Sometimes, like that kind of frustrates me. But Austin's a stud, dude. She is big as fuck.
Yeah, dude.
I never realized how big she was.
Yeah, like big in a good way. We're not trying to like say she's
no. I don't say she's fat. She's fucking huge.
She's a woman among girls out there, is what we're trying to say.
Exactly.
She's for sure.
Like that's a volleyball bullshit. Really. She just split a triple team.
See, that's the one.
She just split a triple team.
That's the one thing too about like the women's like WNBA I've noticed is like they'll have the draft and then like 2 weeks later they're playing.
Yeah, like, literally. They have the draft in around April.
Yeah, like right after the
tournament.
Like maybe a week or two after, yeah. And then they're playing in May. Yeah. Whereas like what? The NBA draft is June.
Is in June, they don't play till
October, yeah.
I mean they play the summer league, but that's in late July.
Yeah. Like they're legit playing games. Like Boston will probably be the number 1 overall pick and she'll be playing.
Because the draft is like right after the finals.
Yeah, like
literally a few days after.
Jeez. It might be like next week or 2 weeks from now, dude. I'm telling you. Like that's the one thing I've noticed. Like
no, I'm talking about the NBA draft is to like after the NBA finals. It's like a few days.
Oh yeah. But I mean, like the women's game is going to be like the
sometimes the draft lottery is during the finals.
Yeah,
like halftime show. Draft
lottery. Yeah. So let me look that up right now. We're still going to make this fucking hour. Just bullshit. Let's see, WNBA draft. Let's see, because I saw the first game was like May 19th. WNBA draft.
Next Tuesday.
Dude, I'd be crying. I'd be crying, dude.
So the championship's what, Monday?
For that? Championship is Sunday. The men's is Monday. Oh my, dude. Iowa's pulling away right now. What date is the WNBA draft? April 10th. Literally next week, dude. A week after the championship game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And who's got the number 1 overall pick? The Fever. What? Fever, dude. Going?
Yeah, we're still going.
Yeah, we're still going. We're about to wrap it up.
Do you want to sit next to us? We can go. Dude, Caitlin Clark is fucking volleyballing right now. It's chilling out. I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah. Trying to see when the do the Fever have the number 1 overall pick? They're going to get Boston.
Probably.
For sure. She's going to be number one real big. They've
Watch
already
Caitlin Clark go like top 3 now, though.
She might, dude. I don't know. I don't know.
The WNBA doesn't do a lottery, do they?
Yeah, they do, but it's like a 4-team. It's only four lottery teams.
Oh, did you see the Hood Shafino, by the way? Is going?
Yeah, I saw that.
He's a projected lottery pick.
Yeah.
Dumb. Adam and Drew are all excited about some fucking 3-star, 5'9" point guard.
Good cups, baby.
Never heard of this guy.
This dude's been
He's barely a top 100 player, and they're all excited about him.
Look him up. Watch his highlights.
Okay, highlights don't mean shit.
Michigan got a 5-star quarterback today.
I was actually about to say that.
Yeah, that's fucking good. I think he's gonna be pretty good. But no, dude, this is what I was reading up on him. Like, I didn't watch any highlights. I was reading up on him. Like, they're like, yeah, it's gonna be pretty good. Like, LeBron likes him.
You gotta watch it.
Like, LeBron
That's
likes
the
him. Yeah, but people who literally do watch him for a living are like, yeah, he's like the 89th best player in the country.
Look how far they're playing golf. All right, you want to wrap this up?
Yeah, but they're excited about a guy who's 89th.
Coach him up, man. Coach him up.
Yeah, but we had fucking Uchipino, who was a 5-star.
Whatever, you gotta go
So my argument is, I said that I think he should have stayed. And they're like, nah, dude, Gabe Cup's better. All right.
We'll find out. All right,
We'll find out. I hope he's good. I hope he's better.
let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Let's see if we're going to fucking lose interest and we keep doing this shit. No, I'm just kidding.
You're being a hater.
Anything else you want to say?
No, WNBA just needs to fucking believe in their stars.
Right.
With thinking that they're worthless.
Yep.
They've used positive affirmations.
Yep. We're going to go to a game and we'll have our thoughts on that. We may not have to go to like the end of the season damn near, but dude, $25 tickets, I'm not tripping about that.
May.
We will see. But we just lost power.
So that's the argument.
Yep. Just cut out on us.
The whole thing.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi cut out.
Damn.
Oh,
That works.
Good enough.
Damn.
yeah.
I mean, it's still going, though. You might want to shut it off.
There's no internet connection, bro.
Well, I was trying to get you to hurry up, wrap it up, because I got fucking shit, dude.
I was under. And he went back and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a long night. So we stole half the bed. I wasn't, I hope it didn't come off too strong.
When I came in there and said what's up to you,
But I thought your voice was a little louder than I thought because I was just about to fall asleep too. And I'm like, no, please don't.
okay, bro. I guess pretty bad out. 'Cause I would have sat outside. It was bad as fuck.
I just watched some videos.
Like,
hold on, let me check on because I don't want to roll off.
like the tree branches and shit were like breaking outside.
Yep, just thrown in the middle of the bed. I mean that's so fun, right?
Yeah, this probably is. No, it stopped.
That's like an hour. It kept counting. Yeah. All right. I already asked that. Are you going?
Yeah. I'm the only one there on Saturday, so I gotta go.
Why can we stop? Because of the Wi-Fi too.